In the middle of the ocean, when a sailor takes their final breath, the Navy performs a ritual so precise, so silent, and so deeply respectful that even the sea seems to pause. No crowds, no music, no speeches, just steel, wind, and the shipmates who stood beside them. Today, we're taking you inside one of the Navy's most sacred traditions, the burial at sea, and showing you why it's the most honorable farewell a sailor can receive. When a sailor dies during an active deployment at sea, there is no quick or simple way to bring the body home. Out here, surrounded by nothing but open water and endless sky, the U.S. Navy carries out one of its most deliberate and deeply respectful traditions, the burial at sea. A burial at sea is never routine. It is reserved for moments when no alternative exists, or when it fulfills someone's final wish. If a sailor passes away aboard a Navy ship while deployed, it might be impossible to return them to land for days, weeks, or sometimes even a month or more. In such cases, the captain has the authority to approve a burial at sea. But this tradition isn't limited to active duty deaths. Veterans and retired service members may also request this ceremony long before their final day. Many do. Some simply want to return to the sea one last time, the place where they served, where they lived a portion of their life in uniform. The process begins through the Navy Casualty Office, the department responsible for handling every formal procedure. For active duty deaths, that office works directly with the ship's commanding officer and the chaplain. Paperwork begins immediately, notifications are made without delay, and each step is documented with precision. For those who requested a burial at sea while still alive, their remains are transferred to a ship preparing to deploy. Their ceremony is held while the vessel is underway, typically during calm seas and always with full military honors. None of this is done casually. A burial at sea is both a necessity born of distance and a tribute built on respect. Once the decision is made, preparation begins quietly, thoroughly, and in strict accordance with Navy protocol. The body is first moved to a secure compartment aboard the ship, often referred to as the morgue or temporary refrigeration unit. If refrigeration isn't available, the ceremony proceeds without delay to ensure dignity is preserved. A small team, usually including a medical officer and members of the burial detail, begins the cleansing ritual. The body is washed with deliberate care and absolute respect. No shortcuts, no improvisation. Every action follows the written guidelines, refined through decades of tradition. Afterward, the sailor is dressed in full dress blue uniform, the Navy's most formal ceremonial attire. The uniform includes the jumper, trousers, white gloves, and appropriate rank insignia. All medals and ribbons earned in life are placed precisely where they belong. Even in death, appearance matters. At the same time, the chaplain begins drafting the words for the upcoming service. It is usually brief, often drawn from scripture or long-standing naval tradition. The language is clear, respectful, and non-denominational unless the sailor's records specify otherwise. Meanwhile, the bosun's mate, a deck expert responsible for seamanship and ceremonial precision, organizes the burial team. He ensures every crew member knows their exact position, the timing of each movement, and the order of commands. The bosun also oversees the ship's bell and ceremonial pipe, both of which hold an important place in what comes next. Everything is rehearsed beforehand. Nothing is left to chance. A Navy ceremony is built on discipline, and that discipline reflects respect. Before the ceremony itself can begin, the ship must be prepared. Out here, the sea never waits, but for this moment, the Navy makes it pause. The officer of the deck issues the order. All hands clear the deck. Routine operations halt. Non-essential personnel stand down. Only mission-critical systems remain active. The ship reduces speed, typically to between 5 and 10 knots. This isn't for show, it's for stability. A slower vessel moves more steadily through the water, reducing motion on deck and making each step deliberate and sure. The helmsman adjusts course, positioning the ship broadside to the wind and waves. This alignment minimizes rolling and pitching, keeping the deck as steady as possible. There is no music, no broadcast, no announcement, only silence. Not the silence of grief, but the silence of discipline. Weapon systems are secured. Flight operations, if underway, come to a temporary halt. Even engineering spaces reduce non-essential machinery to lower background vibrations. The area chosen for the ceremony, usually the fantail, the flight deck, or another aft location, is swept, cleared, and marked. From bow to stern, every sailor knows this is not merely a pause in operations. It is a transformation. For the next hour, this warship becomes something entirely different. A place of honor, a place of farewell. As the ship steadies, the crew begins to assemble. One by one, sailors step into position along the deck, forming two clean lines, feet shoulder-width apart, hands clasped behind their backs, eyes locked forward. No movement, no talking. Each sailor knows exactly where to stand. This formation isn't casual. It's coordinated. From the newest seaman to the most seasoned chief, everyone follows a precise layout issued beforehand. The alignment is exact, not for appearance, but because discipline itself is a form of respect. At the front of the formation stands the executive officer, the XO, shoulder to shoulder with the senior chief petty officer. Both are dressed in full ceremonial uniform, rigid and still. The chaplain stands near the burial capsule. To either side of him, the honor guard waits, selected for their precision, their steadiness, their presence. The captain remains apart from the ranks. He doesn't stand in formation. His role is different. He watches, present yet removed, bearing the weight of command in silence. Once the lines are set, no further commands are spoken. Only the natural sounds remain, the wind, the slow rush of water against steel. This is not a performance. It is a posture, a physical statement of unity and reverence. All eyes remain fixed on the sea. No one shifts. No one looks away. They wait. The ceremony begins with a single sharp sound. A high, piercing whistle cuts through the wind. The bosun's pipe, an ancient naval call, signals the start of the service. It isn't directed at the crew. It's directed at tradition itself. A language older than radio, older than the ship. 3 tones, then silence. Next comes the ship's bell, 3 deliberate strikes. Solid brass polished to a mirror shine. It rings out across the assembled ranks, across the deck, across the water. Each strike feels heavy, final. Then the chaplain's voice rises, steady and calm, without theatrics. He speaks the sailor's name, their rank, their years of service. Nothing more. No stories, no personal details. This ceremony is not about recounting a life. It is about acknowledging service. A short prayer follows. The words are simple, grounded in scripture or naval tradition. They often include lines such as, "We commit this body to the deep, to rest in the embrace of the sea, in the sure and certain hope of eternal peace." For those with no specific faith preference, the words are changed accordingly, but the dignity remains unchanged. When the prayer ends, the honor guard advances. The flag-covered body is lifted with exacting control. 6 sailors, dressed in full uniform, carry the capsule or shroud. Their movements are slow and deliberate, no shouted orders, no visible struggle. Every motion is synchronized. Every turn is measured. Their pace mirrors the gravity of the moment. They carry the body to the ship's edge, usually the aft deck, facing open water. Before the final commit, the flag is removed with meticulous care. The burial team folds it into a perfect triangle, 13 precise folds. Stars outward, stripes concealed. Nothing rushed, nothing improvised. That flag will be preserved, documented, and returned to the sailor's family, hand-delivered by a uniformed officer or presented during a formal ceremony. It is never buried, never surrendered to the sea. With the flag secured, the captain gives a single silent nod. That is the only signal required. At that cue, the burial team tilts the capsule forward. No words, no music, no final command. Only the quiet pull of gravity and the open sea. The body slips beneath the surface. The formation doesn't move. There is no shift, no whispered order. Only procedure. In some ceremonies, the chaplain offers one last line. "May this sailor find calm seas and a safe harbor beyond." In others, the silence stands on its own, intentional, powerful. There is no casket lowered into earth here, no bugle, no family gathered at a graveside, but nothing is missing. On a ship, this is completeness. This is the Navy's oldest farewell, performed not for crowds, but for shipmates, witnessed not by relatives, but by those who served beside the fallen, who shared the same steel passageways, the same orders, the same dangers. There is no applause, no break in formation. No one moves for several long moments. Only when the time is right does the final sound come, a single whistle, the signal that the ceremony is complete. The ceremony is over, but no one moves until the captain gives the order. Out here, the silence is sacred. The sailors hold their stance, still at attention. The ocean has taken the capsule. The water settles into its natural rhythm, but the crew does not until the captain speaks. The command is simple, only 2 words: carry on. With that, the formation breaks. No rush, no uneven footsteps. Each sailor steps off in the same deliberate order they arrived. No one speaks. No one needs to. Up on the bridge, the helmsman returns the ship to its original course. The throttle moves forward, slowly at first, from 5 knots back to 15. The engines rise in tempo. Systems come back online. Daily routines resume. The warship becomes a warship again. But for a few moments, it had been something else entirely, a vessel of farewell. A place where time tightened around a single moment, a single life. The folded flag is logged, stored, and secured for delivery. The honor guard returns to duty. The chaplain steps below deck. Yet the memory of the ceremony remains, etched into the steel, carried in the silence, understood by every sailor who stood there. Nothing more is added. Nothing needs to be. Just the sea, the wind, and the ship moving forward once again. There are no monuments out here, no headstones, no flowers laid at a grave. At sea, a burial leaves no visible trace, no marker but the memory of the moment. For civilians, that may seem distant, unfamiliar, but for sailors, it makes sense. The ocean was home, full of watch rotations, steel decks, long nights, and shared duty. To be buried in it is not strange. It's fitting. This ceremony isn't for spectacle or comfort. It's for precision, for tradition, for the deep-rooted belief that even in death, order and honor must remain. Every detail, from the fold of the flag, to the tilt of the capsule, to the stillness of the formation, is carried out so the crew can say one final thing without ever speaking. You mattered. You served. We remember. And then carry on. Before we go, if you made it this far, show your respect in the simplest way possible. Drop a blue heart in the comments to honor those who have been laid to rest at sea. Or tell us, what do you think of this tradition? Are you surprised? Impressed? Or does it feel exactly right? Thanks for watching. If this gave you a new perspective, hit like and subscribe for more real stories from the world's navies. And if you want to go a step further and support the channel directly, consider joining the fleet. You'll get loyalty badges, priority responses, and help us bring more true maritime stories to the surface. Click join on our channel page and come aboard. Seriously, thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next one.